The latest 7th generation BMW 7 Series. Base vehicle starts from £105,000. Now, if you're happy to look at an older car, 25-year-old, 3rd generation E38, this particular one, a 735i with only 40,000 miles on the clock, you could have it for 1/15 of the price. Interested? Me too. This week, we've got a V8 rear-wheel drive exec car from the late 90s in the BMW 735i. Welcome to this week's Fast and Fun. So the E38, built from 1994 to 2001, and arguably it was the pinnacle for BMW build quality. And for me, it's the E38 that is the pinnacle of the 7 Series as well, with its elongated bonnet and large extended boot. Came in a variety of both petrol, inline 6, V8 and even a V12, as well as diesel engines. But this one, the 735i, 3.5 litre V8, this is when BMW numbers meant something. The 7 for the 7 Series and the 3.5 for the 3.5 litre V8, producing 235 brake horsepower and about the same in torque, around about 330 pounds-foot of torque. Rear-wheel drive, all mated to a 5-speed ZF automatic gearbox. It was the pinnacle for luxury saloons in a massively competitive sector. Audi A8, Mercedes S-Class, of which I did review an S320 CDI, and I'll put a link above. But you also had Jaguar, the XJs, and we had from Japan the Lexus LS as well. So hugely competitive. And these cars, because they depreciate so fast, suddenly these now values can be had from as little as £3,000 all the way up to over 10 for the best. And this particular one, incidentally, is actually for sale today on eBay for £7,000. And this, full history with only 40,000 miles and what appears to be in great condition. And although these cars are now hugely affordable, with values really having bottomed out, there's still a degree of risk associated with the running costs of these cars. These are still luxury cars in a hyperly competitive market. But £7,000 to bag you a car that's only done just over 40,000 miles offers stupendous value. How fast is it? Being the 735, the sort of the mid-range, the first of the V8s. But BMW putting the driver first. How entertaining is this car going to be now 25 years on? Well, shortly we're going to take it out on some of our favourite roads in a brilliantly sunny autumn day here in the UK. But first of all, I want to walk around the car and pick out some of the key features of this E38 7 Series, including being the first European car from the 90s with inbuilt sat-nav. So this particular one is in this silver colour, looks in really, really good condition. If you look down at the front, the typical BMW kidney grille and the headlights, which have, although surrounded with this rectangular headlight cover, still has the traditional 80s and 90s twin round headlights that BMW was so well known for, plus these screen wash for the headlights. Lovely little touches now. We can also see on the bumper here integrated factory fit parking sensors. So this is a 98 R-Reg car. Alloy wheels, 16-inch alloys. Probably not my favourite for this period of 7 Series. I think the sport alloy wheels would make it stand out much, much nicer. The fronts here, 235/60 R16, so really big chunky tyres. And for me, an upgrade on those alloys would really make this look much more sleeker. This one has got factory fresh as well. Sunroof again, really nice, desirable option here on this E38. And then for me, the best angle of this 7 Series is always the back quarter. I love the look of this 7 Series from this position. The boot extended, look at the overhang from the rear wheel back to the rear of the vehicle. It must be a good over 2 foot to the rear bumper. Huge overhang. And then moving round to the back, it's the square angular looks here. It's just a rectangular block, and it makes it look lower than it actually is. Low and wide and squat. No exhaust showing, all hidden, because again, it's all about luxury rather than sport performance. Let's have a quick look into the boot. No way of opening this with it unless you have the key. I'm not sure why BMW did that, but and then, oh, good grief, that's a really heavy boot. Take the key out. Yeah, a little bit awkward with that, and this is some heavy boot as well. Just have a quick look under the boot lid. Is a toolkit. In fact, that's a rarity because that looks completely, everything is in there, so that looks complete. Always nice to see these little touches on sort of older cars. And look at the size of that boot. Wow. That is absolutely huge. For a saloon car, they don't really come much bigger than that. And if you look on the left hand side here, their 6 CD changer. Again, this period, late 90s, this is what, 10 years before the first iPhone came out. So that just shows you, not many cars of this period came with that. We'll take a look in the back of the car, and again, the BMW famous Hofmeister curve, that reminiscent of all BMWs. And then if we look here, just on the rear door, how you've got the padded leather, very sleek wooden trimmings, and lots of sun blinds, even for this small little rear window quarter as well. And showing its period with rear ashtrays. And just look at those seats, aren't they inviting just to sit in? More of a 4-seater, the 5th seat. It's not really. It's all about the comfy executive class, big, soft, comfortable seats here. Really do look absolutely splendid. The quality of the leather, it does not look like these rear seats have even been sat in. Showing its age beautifully. And just as you step in as well, the BMW, it's elegant the way it's been done there, the trimmings as you step in, just to remind you what car that you're in. If we take a look into the front, and the front passenger again, just look at these door cards here, these brilliantly engineered additional pocket bins really, full electric seats as you would expect even for this period. And then in the front glove box, just to give you an example of the build quality, look here, I don't know how easy you can see that, but it's got a lot sort of small miniature gas struts just for the glove box. Just shows you the lengths that they went to. And again, the seats, black is probably a really good colour. Aged unbelievably. Does it look like a 40,000 mile car? Yes, it does. There's just so little wear. Big, soft, comfortable. We have to briefly talk about this BMW phone, the Brick. Again, 10 years before the very first iPhone came out. And then other nice little touches here. The ashtray, again, that pops up, and you can even press that to eject the ash. just showing you the period of this car and the clever use of wood here in this, say, 5-speed ZF Auto, and then a whole range of clearly visible buttons there, in very much in keeping with the BMW brand. 4-spoke steering wheel, lots of in-button or on-button information there. And if we go across to the driver's side door there, you can see the 4 electric windows, and below it memory seats as well on this particular car. The dashboard, very much typical of this particular period, redlining it just below 6,000 revs for this V8. And when we do take it out for a drive, it's also got the, you'll see here, the MPG gauge. Absolutely love that, to tell you how heavy-footed you are driving this car. It just feels built like a tank. It just feels well screwed together. It'll be interesting now, 25 years in, how many squeaks, rattles, knocks we find in this particular car. Let's have a look under the bonnet where the mighty V8 is. Bonnet releases here on this. Oh, the heaviest bonnet in the world. Again, not built for lightness, not at all. This was at a period that we weren't really thinking about keeping cars light. This was all about build quality, and just on that, well, the weight of this bonnet as well as the boot feels like the weight of a car. Didn't expect this, so this must be one of the very first BMWs that have got the actual engine cover, the shroud masking what lurks beneath there. But there's something I love about a big V8 rear-wheel drive exec saloon of its period. Condition, 25 years old. There looks like a bit of oil there on the power steering, but otherwise it looks in really, really good condition, this. And the way that bonnet shuts with a big clear thud. I did own an E34 530 many years ago. That bonnet shut with the same sort of heavy duty core engineering and build quality that you expect of BMW. Just a few, again, condition wise, I can't see any rust on this car. There's a couple of little sort of fake little scratches here, and there's a little bit of lacquer peel on this left rear wing, but otherwise it's in great condition. Okay, right, enough of walking round. Let's take this out on some of my favourite roads and see how well this low mileage 735i drives now in 2024.